This video was inspired by you. Not all of you, but some of you. Some of you in the comment section here on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, Facebook have a misunderstanding of what beneficial bacteria does, how it works, and where it lives. Now, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kev, and I make helpful aquarium content that gets straight to the point. So consider subscribing if you enjoy the video. Thank you very much. What bacteria do not do is swim around and hang out in your water column. This is the biggest misunderstanding I hear about the bacteria that's in your tank and how it works. Many people are afraid of doing big or bigger water changes because they think that they'll lose all the beneficial bacteria in the tank and crash the cycle. No sir, no ma'am, that's not how it works. Nitrifying beneficial bacteria, the kind that keeps our tank cycled by converting ammonia and nitrite into nitrate, must attach themselves to a surface. They are not free floating or free swimming in the water column, which is why many biomedia products on the market strive to have as much surface area as possible to allow for the most beneficial bacteria to have their little tiny homes. Keep in mind though that you cannot produce more beneficial bacteria than your tank needs, but I digress. Besides biomedia, there are also tons of surfaces in your tank for the bacteria to live on. They can live on your decor, on your equipment, on the glass, on the substrate, any surface in your tank, which is why you could essentially do a 100% water change and not crash your cycle if done correctly using Cichlid Prime or some other water conditioner. But I know what you're thinking, Kev, that's crazy. 100% water change, why would you ever need to do that? Well, first of all, if you're keeping track of your tank with the Aqua Builder app, like I do, you shouldn't ever have a problem that will require 100% water change. Did you like that quick plug? If you did, learn more here and in the description below. But what about when you upgrade or downgrade a tank? You can fill that entire new tank 100% with dechlorinated top water and use the filter or the media in the filter from the old tank in the new tank, and it will be cycled instantly. Why? Because the bacteria are living there on the media in the filter. And while you won't be transferring 100% of all the beneficial bacteria from the old tank, you will be transferring the majority of it, which will quickly reproduce to get back to its previous levels. Here's another one. Ever had to completely remove and replace your substrate from an established tank? I have had to do that, and that sucked. Watch my misery right here. Long story short, I had to remove all the fish, decor, and water to remove all of the substrate. When the new stuff was installed, I simply filled the tank back up again with dechlorinated water. I have to say it, guys. Put the fish back in and started my filters back up. No crash in the cycle because the bacteria is not in the water. Last one, how about setting up a quarantine or hospital tank during an emergency? You pop that 10 gallon out of the closet, fill it with, you already know, and drop a seeded sponge filter in there, and boom, it's also instantly cycled from the bacteria living on the surfaces of the seeded sponge filter. Yeah, some people say squeeze the old dirty water from the sponge, but that doesn't work as well as actually using the sponge itself. Another big misunderstanding some have is that beneficial bacteria is causing your tank to look cloudy during a bacterial bloom. Okay, this one is like half true. I guess the nomenclature is what can be confusing. The bacteria causing your bacterial bloom is not your beneficial bacteria. They are different species of bacteria feeding on the organics and dissolved organics in the tank, like fish waste and uneaten food. These bacteria, called heterotrophic bacteria, are much bigger and can be seen by the naked eye, hence the milky cloudy water that you see. Once our beneficial bacteria, aka autotrophic bacteria, have grown and established their colonies, they take over and the bloom cloud is gone. So don't blame your beneficial bacteria. These are the good guys. So check this out. If you take a good look at my African cichlid tank over my right shoulder, you'll notice that it's a little bit cloudy and hazy versus the 450 gallon discus tank over my left shoulder. And the reason why is because I recently added a couple new fish to the African tank, which caused a mini bacterial bloom. This is why that water looks a little bit more cloudy, because it's got more of the heterotrophic bacteria feeding on the new organics in the water than before, while the discus tank hasn't had anything new and is completely cycled and crystal clear. Now, don't always assume that your cloudy water issue are due to bacterial blooms, because there's many reasons for it. Most beginners tend to overfeed, overclean, and leave the lights on for way too long. But if you're interested in really tackling those cloudy water problems, I cover it all right here. Don't worry, it's only $5 and it's short and to the point. I promise you can get through it and have crystal clear water on the other side. Knowing what you now know about beneficial bacteria, I now have to address those of you that use filters that come with replaceable cartridges. If you know now that beneficial bacteria is living on the surfaces, mostly in your filter, on those cartridges, you should really consider not using a filter that requires you to remove and replace those cartridges, because what you're doing is removing and not replacing your beneficial bacteria, if you know what I mean. Now, beneficial bacteria have a lot more functions during the nitrogen cycle. So if you're new to this, check this video out right here to learn more about it. And if you wanted to learn more about bacterial blooms and why they happen, check that one out right there. Before you go, make sure to like the video if you found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the other side. Peace.